Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to learn about the normal forms, Chomsky normal form of CFG. So, as we know, CFG is a type 2 grammar of Chomsky hierarchy. The grammar is defined as VTPS for a group of four elements, a set of variables, set of terminal symbols, set of production rules, and a starting symbol. And the rules are of the type of A generates alpha, where left hand side is a single variable and right hand side is the combination of variable and terminal symbols. Okay, so always remember whenever we say CFG, you need to remember, I again and again repeat in every lecture, because all these things should be there in your mind when you say the word CFG. CFG is the type 2 grammar of Chomsky hierarchy. The language is the context free language, and the machine is the push down machine. And it is a group of four elements, that is VTPS, where V is the set of variables, T is the set of terminal symbols, P is a set of production rules, and S is a capital. S is in the capital letter, that is variable, and it is the starting symbol. And we always start from the starting symbol when we have to derive the word belonging to the language. And the rules contain this type of structure, like left hand side is a single variable and right hand side is the group of variable and terminal symbols. Okay, now when we design the context free grammar as a designer, after that, for a particular application we may have to convert our grammar into some other normal form, into some other format. We have to convert it into some other format, and then only it is useful for a particular application. So in that case we have to simplify the grammar and use it in a particular manner. Okay, so one of the normal form means converting the grammar into some other format. Both the grammars are equivalent, they are same, the meaning is the same, the words that are derived by both the grammars are same, but we just want to convert the rules from one particular type to another type. And one of the type is, as per the syllabus, is the Chomsky normal form, and the other one is the Grayback normal form. So in tomorrow's lecture we're going to learn about Grayback normal form. Grayback normal form is complicated, and it is a पूरा ये जो chapter है context free grammar का, now from that chapter is, it's the most difficult topic because there are multiple steps and you need to remember the sequence of the steps, and they are little complicated compared to Chomsky normal form. So today's lecture is very easy. It's just mathematics and the general intelligence that you have to apply to convert the grammar into Chomsky normal form. But in Grayback, you need to follow certain steps. So tomorrow's lecture is the most difficult topic of this particular chapter. Okay, so today's objective is to learn to know CNF from CFG. Okay, so you have the CFG and you have to convert it into CNF. CNF is the short form, that is Chomsky. Chomsky is the name of the scientist who has devised this method and the classification of the languages. Okay, so what is this CNF? This CNF is a CFG that contains all the rules of the type A is equal to BC. Like here we say that CFG means A is equal to alpha. Alpha means group of variables and terminals. But we can convert the existing grammar into this particular format where we want, if variables are there in the right hand side, we want there are two variables should be there. So we want, if the variables are there, there should be maximum two, not even minimum. They should be exactly two. Okay, so we cannot have a one variable or three variables or five variables at the right hand side. In this Chomsky normal form, left hand side will be a single variable and right hand side will be two variables if variables are there. So here it is A is equal to BC. I have just given the names as, for example, A and ABC. But the meaning is that left hand side is a single variable and right hand side are the two variables. If variables are there, they are exactly two variables at the right hand side. Or the rule can be of the type of left hand side is a single variable and right hand side is a single terminal symbol. So it is a symbol that is used to form the word of the language. So it belongs to capital T of VTPS. The small a belongs to capital T of VTPS. Or it can be the rule of the type of S generates epsilon. Like a variable generates the, for the starting symbol generates epsilon is also allowed. Okay, but you need to remember that A is equal to BC and A is equal to small a type of rules are there. All the rules are of this type. Okay, so have you understood about CNF? You can write down in the chat box so that I know that you are following me. Okay, write down the comments in the chat box. Have you understood? In Chomsky normal form, we just want to convert our existing context-free grammar into some other format. Okay, into some other format, and in that other format is called as the CNF, that is Chomsky normal form. And what Chomsky normal form says that left hand side is a single variable, so right hand side can be two variables, or left hand side is a single variable, right hand side can be a single terminal symbol, or if there is any rule s generates epsilon, that is also allowed, but actually we are removing the epsilon symbol, so that case will not come into our problems. Okay, so let's continue with the problem. Let's see the steps. What are the steps? Okay, so I think you have understood about the objective by looking at the chat box. I can say you have understood the learning objective for today. You have given CFG and you have to convert every rule in either A is equal to BC format or A is equal to small a format. Okay, and what are the steps? The first step is to simplify the grammar. We have spent sufficient amount of time in solving simplification problems. Okay, so I think there should not be any issue in solving the simplification of the problem. Okay, if you are not comfortable, the tutorial is uploaded yesterday in the classroom, and solve the tutorial so that you are familiar with simplification problems. Okay, in case of this CNF conversion, the first step is to simplify the grammar. And simplification का कौन सा steps है? First epsilon, remove epsilon production, remove unit production, remove non-generating symbols, remove non-reachable symbols. Okay, and so do that. Okay, so first step is about simplification. After simplification, you need to add the productions which are already in CNF in the solution. Means you look at your CFG. If the rule is already of this particular type, A is equal to BC or A is equal to small a, add it to the answer. Like convert that rules as it is into CNF. So because they are already in CNF format. Now you take the remaining productions, and in the remaining productions, you will have to use extra Chomsky variable. Introduce a new Chomsky variable if required, and you need to rewrite the grammar in such a way that RHS is having only two variables. Okay, so if you know, it is difficult to understand the step number 3 what I'm talking right now, but with the help of the problem you will be able to understand if it is not clear right now. What I'm trying to say in the step 3 is that you take every non-CNF rule and convert every non-CNF rule with the help of a new variable that is called as a Chomsky variable, and rewrite it in such a way that right hand side contains only two variables or either a single terminal symbol. Okay, so we just have to rewrite it here by doing some little bit adjustment. That is a normal intelligence, human intelligence that you can use to do that. Okay, so it is very simple. CFG to CNF is very simple. Today's lecture is it's very easy. If you pay attention, you can easily understand. And this is the question that is asked for 10 marks in the exam. Okay, so first simplify the grammar, then add the productions which are already in CNF in the answer. Then for non-CNF rule, you have to rewrite it. That is the procedure. Okay, so let's see the problem. Suppose this is the CFG that is given to you. Okay, there are three variables S, A, and B, and your T contains small ab. Means your word is made up of the small case letters small a and small b. Now the first step is to simplify the grammar. Okay, and just always remember CNF is a simplified CFG, means already simplified grammar that contains all the rules of the type of A is equal to BC or A is equal to A. Okay, I think there is no meaning to S is equal to epsilon because we are removing epsilon productions. Okay, so remember only these two things. So we'll simplify the grammar. In the simplification of the grammar, the first step is to remove epsilon productions. Okay, so check what and write down the. So I'm writing here grammar without epsilon productions. So here this is my original grammar. I'm writing it without epsilon production rules. So what are the epsilon production rules? A is equal to epsilon and B is generates epsilon. So there are two epsilon production rules in this given grammar. Without that, I'm writing it here. And now I have to remove. So if I'm selecting, okay, so I've identified nullable symbols are A and B. A is equal to epsilon, B is equal to epsilon. These are directly given nullable symbols. Now try to check whether S is also nullable. Because A and B are nullable, null symbol, nullable symbols, try to find out whether S is also nullable. So we can put A and B as epsilon, epsilon. Even if we put that here in the S ka production rule, S is equal to AB. That means S can never become epsilon. Even if A and B are epsilon, there is no particular rule because of which S can also become epsilon. It is not possible. If you try to put here A and B as epsilon, S is becoming AB. And it is not becoming epsilon. So it is not a nullable symbol. S is not a nullable symbol. Only A and B are nullable symbols. So we'll take one by one. I'm taking A is equal to epsilon for the first time. And for A is equal to epsilon, now I need to check. I want to remove this rule. Okay, I don't want to write that rule in this my grammar, simplified grammar. So I want to remove it. So if I want to remove it, what will be the change in this grammar? So look at here in this grammar. Now assume that A is equal to epsilon here. So if A is equal to epsilon, then S will be nothing but it will be small a b capital B. Okay. Now here if A is epsilon, capital A will be small b capital B. Okay. And if A is equal to epsilon here for B, then capital B is equal to BA. Okay. So this was the addition. Okay. With A is equal to epsilon removal, I am going to add these three different rules. That here I am putting A is equal to epsilon, here A is equal to epsilon, here A is equal to epsilon. And here if I am putting A is equal to epsilon, then B is equal to epsilon. That is already taken care of here because it is also given that B is equal to epsilon directly. Okay, so here I'm with the removal of A is equal to epsilon, I'm going to add these three different rules here. Okay, so this is done for A is equal to epsilon. Now take the second. Second is B is equal to epsilon. Now again visit through all the production rules. So start from here. If B is equal to epsilon, I will have to add small a b capital A. And if this B is equal to epsilon, I have to add small a b. Then here B is equal to epsilon, it will be B capital A. If this B is equal to epsilon, A will be small b. If this B is equal to epsilon, B will be capital A small a. And if this B is epsilon, it will be small a. Okay, so like this, you will have to go through each and every rule and try to put B as epsilon and get the new value. If it is a new value, add it here. Okay, so this way I'm going to add the new, because I'm removing B is equal to epsilon. These are the rules which are added in the existing grammar. That ABA and AB here, this will be BA is added, small b is added, then S capital A small a is added, and here small a is added. Okay, so like this, with B is equal to epsilon the removal, I have added all these rules. Okay, now this is done. First step of simplification of the grammar is done. For nullable symbols, they are removed, and my grammar is the new grammar without epsilon productions. The second step is about unit productions. So now remove the unit production is the second step. Identify, is there any unit production? Try to check B is equal to A hai kya? A is equal to B hai kya? Nahi hai. It's not, oh, it's there here. B is equal to A. In the original grammar, I have written down here without that. So B is equal to A is there. So there is one unit production, B is equal to A. Okay, and I have removed that B is equal to A and I have rewritten. See here in the previous, this is my input to the next step. In this input, B is equal to A is there. Okay, so in the removal of unit production, I have to extract this and keep it out. And I'm writing the grammar without that. So I'm writing the grammar without B is equal to A, and I've removed that and I've kept it here in the right hand side. So I've removed that from my input to this step. So in this step, I'm writing the grammar without this unit production, and the unit production is removed here, and I'm removing them, this production from this set of rules. So with this removal, what will be the change that I have to do? So look at this particular rule. What this rule means that B is equal to A, means B generates A. That means whatever is the value of A is assigned to B. means B can generate that. So A generates BAB. So we say that B generates A and A generates BAB. That means B can generate BAB, or B can generate BB, or B can generate BA, or B can generate small b. So the meaning is that. So it is nothing but B is equal to A, means whatever is there in A is assigned to B. Okay. So with this removal, I am going to write down that here. So all whatever is there in A is written for B also. And this rule is discarded from the set. Okay, so this is removed. Now my new production set is this. Now this is the input to the next step. There is only one unit productions in my set. Okay, so there is no other unit production. So this step is over. So removal is done now. See, if you do any mistake when you are solving such problems, if you do any mistake in a particular step, your final answer is going to be wrong. So this is very simple problems once you understand, but you have to practice it so that you don't make any silly mistakes in the exam. Okay, so that's why I'm telling you, spend 15 minutes or 30 minutes of time every day and solve at least one problem of TCS. And I'm posting tutorials, so you can solve the tutorials even again and again, and you can take the examples from the question papers and solve the problems. Every day one problem, at least a big problem. Okay. So simplification ka second step is done. Removal of unit production. What is the next step? What is the next step? Can you write down in the answer in the chat box? What will be the next step of simplification? Write down your answer in the chat box. What is the next step of the simplification? We have done removal of epsilon, removal of unit. Now what is the next step? Write down your answer in the chat box. What is the next step of simplification of the grammar? Okay, so removal of non-generating symbols, correct. So the next step is removal of non-generating symbols. So I'm saying that I'm just identifying first what are the generating symbols. So the output of the previous step is taken as input and it is written down here. Now I'm assuming that generating symbols are small ab. So my small ab which is there from T are the generating symbols. Now I have to check whether S is going to generate anything which is there in the generating set. So I have the rule S is equal to small ab. Because of this rule, I can say that A and B are generating symbols and S generates AB. So S is also a generating symbol. Okay. And so I have identified for S. Now for A. So for A, I have the rule A is equal to small b and B already is there in the set AB. So A is also generating symbol. Go for the third variable, that is capital B. Capital B is equal to small a hai or capital B is equal to small b hai. So I can say that because of these three rules in the first pass only, I have identified that S, A and B all are generating symbols. So I'm saying that my generating symbols ka set is changed, and now S, A, B and small a b are generating symbols. So there is no non-generating symbol. So the grammar is remaining unchanged, and the same rules are there as the output of this particular step. So I'm having this output, and that is input to the next step. Next step is about removal of non-reachable symbols. Okay, so this grammar I have to okay, so in this, look at the step one here where I'm finding the non-reachable symbols. Okay, so I'm assuming that for what I have to write is that I have to draw the three nodes S, A, and B. Okay, I have to write three nodes S, A, and B. So I've written down here S, A, and B. Now I have to try to find out S is already reachable because S is the starting symbol. So I just want to check whether from S can I reach to A or B. So okay, so look at the rule A B only. This rule only tells, or this rule tells that from S you can reach to B, or a capital A will tell you that a capital A is reachable from capital S. So here with the rule AB capital B, I'm saying B is reachable from S, and with the rule AB capital A, I'm saying A is reachable from S, or even with this rule also we can say. So both the symbols are reachable. So my grammar is not going to change. So this is the input to the next step. Okay. of the conversion from CFG to CNF. Okay, so conversion of CFG to CNF का first step of simplification of the grammar is over. And now this is the input to the step 2 of this conversion. Now in the step 2, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to introduce two Chomsky variables. See, this is a trick that I have tried and I have used many ways to solve the problem. Okay, so in that case, I have identified that if I introduce two Chomsky variables in the beginning, then when I solve the problem, my problem conversion becomes very easy. Okay, so what I'm going to use a technique. This is my technique that I'm going to use always to intro. I'm going to introduce two variables always. So these are two variables, capital C and A is a subscript here. So actually this is a capital variable, capital letter, which is a variable C. And this is a Chomsky variable, so I'm giving the name of this Chomsky variable as CA, who generates small a. And this is a CB who generates B. But this is a capital letter and B is a subscript and A is a subscript. Okay, so remember CA and CB. So it is a variable C, but A is a subscript. So CA and CB. So if you do this in the step 2, then in the step 3, your conversion becomes very easy. So always follow this, like CA generates A, and this type of rule is allowed na, in your Chomsky. This is the second type of rule. A generates small a. Means left hand side is a single variable, right hand side is a single terminal. So like this here, left hand side is a single variable, right hand side is a single terminal. So these two Chomsky rules I have added in my existing grammar. So output of the simplification is the input, and to that set of grammar, I have added two different rules which are already in the Chomsky normal form. Okay, now go to the step 3. In the step 3, so I have rewritten here the grammar, existing grammar. Okay, these are my rules in the previous step ka. This SAB hai na, three variables. So here I have written down SAB ka rules, S, and there were 4 rules. S के लिए 4 rules थे, A के लिए 4, and was having 8 rules. So S ka 4 rules, A ka 4 rules, and B ka 8 rules are there. And C and CB I have introduced. Okay. Now in the step 3, I have to rewrite. Okay. So what you do is that when you solve the problem, you just in your notebook you just make 2 columns. And left hand side ka column mein you take the original rule, and in the right hand side ka column mein you write down the rules which are in Chomsky normal form. Okay, so here this is my right column. Okay, and here there will be a left hand side column. In this right hand side column you write down your answer, which is conversion. These are the CNF ka rules. Okay, so what are the two first rules of my CNF that I have introduced? CA is equal to A and CB is equal to B, that I'm going to write first in my answer, final answer. Now to the left hand side you take the first rule. So the first rule is S is equal to small a b capital A B. So write it in the left hand side. Now you have to remove this. Okay, I have to remove this. If I want to remove this, I have to rewrite it in this Chomsky normal form. So what can you do it here? Like here, I can split it into 2 parts. I'll say that S is equal to C1 C2. Okay, I'll divide this into 2 parts. I'll say that S is equal to C1 C2. So I'm introducing two different new Chomsky variables again. So total 4 variables are there now. So I've introduced C1 and C2, and I'm saying that S is nothing but C1 C2. And what is my C1? C1 is equal to small ab. But I cannot write C1 is equal to small ab because to the right hand side 2 terminals are not allowed. To the right hand side I can have either one terminal symbol or I can have 2 variables. So instead of writing C1 is equal to small ab, I know that small a is equal to CA and small b is equal to CB. So I'm going to write it in the variables form. So I'll write C1 is equal to CACB. Okay, so for AB, I'm saying that AB means C1 and C1 means CACB. So I'm just declaring that and defining it in my final answer. That S is equal to C1 C2, C1 is equal to CACB, and C2 is equal to AB. So I don't have to do anything for C2 because it is already in Chomsky form. Right hand side 2 variables, left hand side is a single variable. So don't get confused here. Small a, 1 or 2, these are the subscripts. These are the subscripts. of the grammar, and it is a single variable. Okay, so don't get confused about it. The C1 means I just want to give the name of each and every variable in the form of a C, because it is a Chomsky normal form. So I'm going to number them as 1, 2, 3, 4, and for CA and CB, I'm using a proper naming convention, so that by looking at the variable, I come to know that what is there inside the variable. Okay, as a computer programmer or engineer, you need to follow proper naming conventions whenever you are solving any problem or whenever you are writing any program. Okay, so that if you write any program, the other person is going to read your program, and by looking at the name of the variable only, you should come to know that what is there inside the variable. So the naming, always whenever you do any project, the people take the meetings, and they decide about the naming conventions to follow, and everyone follows the naming conventions. So one program written by one person can be tested by the other person easily. Okay. So this is the tip that you have to use, that you use the proper naming conventions. I'm using proper naming conventions and using the names of the variables as capital C, and I'm numbering them as 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the subscripts, but it is actually a single variable, two LHs, and the right hand side is having two variables. So have you understood? This is only the trick, and just you have to rewrite the grammar. Now I think you can solve the problem. So you can go ahead and take the variables and start writing, and then cross check your answer with me. Okay, so I'll just repeat what we have done. We have taken the first rule, small a b, capital A B, and for the first rule, these three different rules are added. I'm saying S is equal to C1, C2, where C1 is equal to AB, but I cannot write two variable terminals. So I'll say C1 is equal to CA, CB, and C2 is equal to AB. That's what I'm telling. Okay, now take the second variable, second rule. So second rule is S is equal to AB, capital B, which is not in Chomsky form. So I have to remove this. So if I have to remove this for AB, what can you say? So for AB, already we have said that C1 is equal to AB, we are assuming. So I can use the same variable here. And I say that S is equal to C1B. And C1 already I have defined here, that C1 is equal to CACB and CA is equal to A and B. So I don't have to write it again now. Okay, so I am reusing the previous variable. Okay, so here there is no need to introduce a new variable, because already we have defined AB is equal to C1. So you just have to remember the previous new added variables, so that you can reuse them, and your answer will be efficient if you are using less number of variables. It will be a right answer. Even if you can go on introducing new variables, your answer may be correct one, but it is not efficient answer. So try to reduce the number of variables in your answer. So this is done. Now I don't have to do anything for the second rule. I'll take the third rule. S is equal to small ab, capital A. Again here AB is there, so I can reuse the variable. So I'll say S is equal to C1, capital A. So left hand side is a single variable, right hand side two variables. Now take the next rule. S is equal to small ab. So S is equal to small ab. But here if I say S is equal to C1, it will not be of Chomsky form. Okay, it will not be of the Chomsky form. So what I can do is that I will write it in the form of CACB. So I'll say that S is equal to CACB. For S is equal to AB, now here left hand side single variable, right hand side two variables. So I have converted properly. Now the everything is done for the variable S. Take the next variable, capital A. For capital A, small b, AB, again what you can do here, there is no option. We have, okay, for AB we have C2. C2 is equal to AB. So I can use that. So can you answer? Write down your answer. How to rewrite capital A, small b, AB in the form of Chomsky. Write your answer in the chat box. It will be CBC2, correct. It will be CBC2, where B is the subscript. So it will be CBC2, because I know B is equal to CB, and AB के लिए we have defined C2. ठीक है. Now take the next variable, next rule. A is equal to small b, capital B. This is also very easy. Just replace small b with CB. Then take the next rule. A is equal to BA. This is also very easy. You just replace small b with CB. Now you take the next rule, A is equal to B. So what to do about this? A is equal to small b. This A is equal to small b is already in the CNA format as per the second condition. A is equal to small a. Okay. So as per this, it is already in the Chomsky normal form. So write it directly as it is. So that's why I'm keeping the same color, that it is remaining the same. So I'm keeping the black color for taking the rule as it is in the CNA format. Okay. Now everything is done for capital A. Everything is done in the capital A. For capital B, take the first rule and rewrite it. Okay. So here now what is to be done? What you will have to add a new variable in this case. Okay. So I'll say that A is equal to CA, so I know. A is equal to CA, so I know. So I'll use another variable C3. So I have my numbers are done till C1, C2. I am taking a new number C3 and I'll say that B is equal to C3A where C3 is equal to BA. Okay, here also left hand side single, right hand side two variables. Left hand side single, right hand side two variables. So C3 new variable is added. Now take the next rule. B is equal to capital BA. So for capital BA, we can write it as capital BCA. So this was easy. Capital A, small a, this is also easy. B is equal to capital A, CA. Okay. Now B is equal to A. It is already in Chomsky form as per the second condition. So take it as it is. Now take the next one. Capital B is equal to small b, AB. Okay. Now here also AB के लिए we have already defined C2 and CB, B is equal to CB. So use that and B is equal to CB C2. Then take the next rule, B is equal to small b capital B and write it as CB capital B. Then take BA. This was similar to this A's, na? All these things. So the right hand side will become same only. So CBB. And now I'm taking the next rule, capital B is equal to BA. So small b is equal to CB. So it is CBA. Then B is equal to small b, which is already in CNF. So write it like this. So this is done like this. If you take two different columns and if you solve by taking one variable, there will not be any chance of doing any silly mistake. Okay. So what you do is that first you write down CA and CB and then you keep on taking one rule and for one particular rule you write down the rewrite the grammar. So second rule rewrite the grammar, third rule rewrite the grammar and converted the grammar. So this is very easy. Now write down the final answer. So final this is my final answer. So final answer I can write that the grammar in the CNA format is equal to VTPS where B is equal to, now I can write down S, A, B is there. This S is there, A is there, B is there. Then I have CA, CB, then C1, then C2 and C3. All these are the variables. And capital T will remain same, small ab, and the P is this. So write down all the rules together. Okay. And this is my answer of conversion of CFG to CNF. So, so this was, I think this is very easy problem. If CNF is there in the exam, it's very easy to solve, and normally it is for 10 marks. But GNF is a little tricky and challenging because there are number of steps, 5-6 steps are there, and every step you need to remember the sequence as well as a particular step you have to follow certain things. Okay, so let's solve one more problem because there are 15 minutes, so we can solve it fast. So now I'll go fast. Okay, and just I want to do one change here that you don't consider S is equal to epsilon because we are simplifying the grammar. So even if S is equal to epsilon is there, that is not required. It is not there. I'll remove that S is equal to epsilon from everywhere. Okay, so let's solve the next problem. This is the grammar given to you and convert it to CNF format. Okay, so first step is simplification of the grammar. Identify which are the nullable symbols. S is a nullable symbol. If you put S over here, A is not going to become null. If you put both the S as epsilon, B will be small b, so B is also not. So A and B are not nullable symbol. Only S is nullable symbol. So for S is equal to epsilon, remove that from the set. Write the rule. Say all the rules here. Now, if we are removing S is equal to epsilon, what is the change that you have to add it here? So, if S is equal to epsilon, capital S will become capital S will become capital AB. This will be small a, capital A, and this will be B, SB, and BS. Three combinations. Okay, so just see here. This was the rule. S is removing. S is equal to epsilon is removed. So S will be AB. This will be AS. But here we are adding three. Okay, so don't miss that. Here this S is epsilon, so you will get BS. If this S is epsilon, then you get SB. And if both the S are epsilon, then you get small b. So all three combinations are there. So all three are added here. Okay, so for S is equal to epsilon removal के लिए this is the change that is done. Now remove unit productions. So unit productions, identify unit production. B is equal to A is a unit production. Or from the previous step you identify B is equal to A is a unit production. So in the next step, you remove that B is equal to A. With this removal, write down the grammar. Without that, B is equal to A. This is my grammar, which is coming from the output of the previous step. I'm going to consider this for B is equal to A. So what is the meaning of B is equal to A? Whatever is there in A is assigned to B. So whatever is there in A is assigned to B. And your B is going to change. And B is now having 7 values. So this is done for unit productions. Now identify the generating symbols. Generating symbols are small ab. So for small ab, try to find out who generates small ab. Capital A generates small ab and capital B generates small a or small b. So with this, capital A generates small a, capital B generates small a rule, A and B are generating symbols. Now check whether S is a generating symbol. S is equal to AB. Okay, so both the symbols are there in this set. So that is fine. So because of this S is equal to AB, S is also generating symbol. And now all the symbols are generating. So there is no non-generating symbol, there is no change. Take the same grammar as it is. So take the same grammar as it is as the output of the step. That is input to the next step. In the next step, we are finding reachable symbols first. So draw the circles S, A, B as the nodes. Start from S. We have the rule S is equal to AB or S is equal to ASB. With that rule, it is B is reachable. With that rule, A is also reachable. So all the symbols are reachable. The grammar is going to remain the same. Okay, grammar is will be the same. Okay, so I think there was a mistake here in the animation. So this is your grammar. Okay, final. Now go ahead, take this as input to the next step. Your grammar is simplified. In the next step, you add two variables, CA and CB, and write down all the rules here. Okay, like SAB का S का 2 था, A का 3, and here 3 plus 4 plus 4, total 8. Okay, so here 4 plus 4, 8. 8 rules 3 and 2. And CA and CB are added. So write down CA and CB in the CNA format. Take the first rule S is equal to ASB. For ASB, now you need to divide it into two parts. So I'm saying that you can use anything. S is equal to C1B, where C1 is equal to AS. So you can even say capital A is C1 and C1 is equal to SB. That is also correct. So you may have multiple answers for the same question. So as per my convention, I'm taking C1 is equal to AS and then capital B and C1 is equal to AS. So both the rules are in CNF format. Now take the next one, S is equal to AB. It is already in CNF. So write it as it is. Take the next one, A is equal to small a, capital A, S. So here I'm getting AS. AS के लिए I've already used variable C1. So I'll say A is equal to CA C1. Now take the next one. Capital A is equal to small a. It is already in CNF format. So here there are only two things that you have to remember. So it is remaining like that. It's the same. Then A is equal to small a capital A. For small a, I can replace it with CA. So I'll say that it is CAA. Okay. Now everything is done for A. Take the next variable capital B, SBS. So here now I have to split it into two parts. So I'll say that B is equal to C2. I have to introduce a new Chomsky variable C2. So I'm saying C2S, where C2 is equal to S, and for small b I'm writing it as CB. So C2 is equal to SCB. Okay, then take the next rule, S is equal to small b. So B is equal to CBCB. Rewrite it. Then B is equal to capital S small b, that is rewritten as B is equal to capital S CB. Now take the next rule, B is equal to small b, B is equal to BS. Again, this is very simple. Capital B is equal to CBS. Replace this B with CB. Then capital B is equal to small b. Write it as it is. Capital B is equal to small as. So here as के लिए तो already we have a variable C1. So the job is easy. B is equal to C1. Then next, B is equal to small a. Take it as it is. B is equal to small a capital A. For that you can replace A with CA. So we have done with all the rules. Now this is your final set of rules in the answer. So write down the final answer, that your CFG in CNF. CFG in CNF is equal to VTPS, SAB, CACB, so hai hi, and then we have introduced two variables, C1 and C2. There is no C3. Okay. So all these variables are there, and then these are the rules. Like this, you have to rewrite the grammar. Okay, so this is done with the help of CNF. I think you have understood now CNF properly. So try and practice at least one or two problems at home today. Now tomorrow I'm going to start with GNF ka problem. But for GNF ka problem, there is one particular step which is a little difficult to understand. Okay. So now refresh yourself and try to understand that particular step, and then I'll stop the lecture. Hello everyone, like right now we have done with the problem of CNF. Practice one problem of CNF. Now refresh yourself to understand a particular step of GNF, that is tomorrow's lecture. So when I teach you about GNF, it will be easy for you to understand that particular step. Okay, so all of you now again um, concentrate and understand, try to understand a particular step which I am telling you. So here for GNF, GNF, there are so many steps. Lots of steps are there. These are the steps: simplify the grammar, then bring the production to a particular format, then rename the variables, then convert them into some AI is equal to HG alpha, and then remove the left recursion, and then by substitution you get GNF. Okay, such kind of steps are there. 6 steps are there, and every step we have to do a lots of work. Okay, so here there is one particular step called as removal of left recursion. So right now I just want to introduce you with this particular step. So tomorrow when I teach you, it will be easy for you to understand. So for that, this is the example that I have taken: removal of left recursion. Okay, removal of left recursion. I think this is visible to you. Here, what is this? This rule is A1 is equal to A1, A2, A3. Okay. So what is the meaning of this rule? A1 is a variable, a single variable at the left hand side, and right hand side is made up of 3 variables. And what are the 3 variables? A1, A2, A3. And A1 is represented in the form of A1. So here the recursion is there. But the recursion is a left recursion. And when you design any grammar, always you have to design the grammar in such a way that there should not be any left recursion. It should be right recursive grammar. So if it is a right recursive grammar, then we can design easily the parser for that. And the parser is used to tell the runtime environment how to execute the statement. So parser ka design is very easy if your grammar is the right recursive grammar. And in this particular GNF also, we want to remove the left recursion. Okay. So how the left recursion is present here? That here A1 ke liye there are two different rules. A1 is equal to A1 A2 A3 and A1 is equal to A5 A3. Here there is no recursion, but this is the value of A1. A1 is nothing but A5 A3, or A1 is equal to A1 A2 A3. And here A1 is represented in the form of A1. So here the left recursion is there. We can stop the recursion by applying the second rule. If we say that A1 is equal to A5 A3 A2 A3, then the recursion is stopped. Okay, so this is the recursion stopping ka condition, and this is the recursion present over here. So how to rewrite by removing the left recursion is that always whenever such a left recursion is there, don't be lazy and draw the parsing diagram. So I'm drawing a parsing diagram. I'll say that A1 is equal to A1 and A2 A3. Then again here this A1 I'm applying the first rule. So this A1 is equal to A1 A2 A3. Okay, and then I want to stop the recursion, so I'll say that A1 is equal to A5 A3. Okay, so try to apply it for 2-3 times and you draw the parse tree. So always for removal of left recursion to the you just show whenever you're solving the problem to the right hand side some rough work, and in that rough work you draw the parse tree. So this is a parse tree, and now if you observe this parse tree, what are the strings that is generated? The string is A5 A3 for the one time. So here A5 A3 is for one time, and then A2 A3 is there, for A2 A3 is there. It is there for two times because two times the recursion is done. So if you go on applying A1 again for n number of times, your string will be A5 A3 and right hand side will be A2 A3 for n number of times, where n is greater than or equal to 0. Okay. So your string is of this particular type, A5 A3 for one time and A2 A3 for n number of times. So this is the type of the string. So then how to rewrite the grammar? What we can do is that we can write down A1 is equal to uh, uh, okay. So we will introduce a new variable B1. B1 is nothing but A2 A3. Okay. So I'll say that B1 and it is for n number of times. So I am going to introduce a new variable B1. So I'll say that A1 is equal to A5 A3 B1. So that's what I'm writing it here right directly. Okay, A1 is equal to A5 A3 B1 and A1 is equal to A5 A3, which to stop the recursion. Then I have to write what is B1. B1 is nothing but A2 A3 for n number of times. This is similar to A raised to n. When we design the context free grammar, this is similar to A raised to n. So B1 is nothing but this A2 A3 raised to n for n number of times. So I'll say that I'm converting left recursion to the right recursion, and I'm representing B1 in the form of B1, but it is right recursion. So I'll say that B1 is equal to A2 A3 or A2 A3 B1. Okay, so this way the single rule, this particular rule is rewritten. A1 के लिए दो rules था. That is we can rewrite it as these three different rules, like on these three lines. Two different rules, A1 and B1. Okay, so B1 is introduced in that case. If it is not understood, tomorrow again I will revisit this. What we have done is that for left recursion के लिए, this was the left recursion. Draw the parse tree. Identify the string generated is A5, A3, A2, A3 raised to n type of string. So for this A2, A3, introduce a new variable, and then you can write A1 as A5, A3, B1 or A5, A3, and then B1 is equal to, this is A raised to n type of thing. So it is A2, A3, B1 and or A2, A3. So B1 is represented in the form of B1. And here A1 was represented in the left recursion, but B1 is represented in right recursion. So we have converted left recursion to right recursion. Okay. So we'll see that again. And tomorrow you will have to pay your attention properly to understand GNF, because it is not that easy compared to CNF. Okay. So as the time is over, we'll stop for today's lecture and solve the tutorial immediately. Okay. So see you tomorrow. Have a nice day.